68 to 62. I'm at a Rainier and Grand. They had to stop northbound. That was actually, because they actually, as they crossed Rainier. Go ahead.
Where'd you bug out to?
Unfortunately, I got stuck blocking northbound Rainier Avenue South at South Grand. Once the march started to cross over to keep people from actually going up towards the march or trying to go through some of the side streets.
Alright, copy. So you're at 20, you're where?
On the west side.
Gotcha.
auxiliary cycling and the yellow.
Out of your home. Into the street. 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 Into the streets. 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 Into the streets.
was an amazing feat as well. There's union folks. I might have mentioned this earlier. There's unions who have worked really hard to provide an opportunity for their members to be able to participate, and they did some amazing work to allow staff to participate, which they would ordinarily, especially for staff who have in their contracts that they can't technically strike, but this was a call to action that they just could not ignore, and did some monumental feats in order to allow staff to do that. And we are definitely so appreciative of that effort. It will not go unnoticed. Lots of donations are pouring in. If you haven't had an opportunity to do that, please do. All the funds that are raised today will be split between a number of organizations that are displayed on our ticker here below. And yeah, and you can donate to those organizations directly as well. So we're excited to be able to do that today. These organizations could definitely use this money, and they have plans for it. As soon as we're able to send that money along, they have amazing things already lined up to do with those funds. So please give as much as you can, and know that those organizations will do amazing things with it. Yeah. So I believe that Ebony is wrapping up everyone who are getting there. I think if you still look at the video on King 5, people are still making their way into the park. Oh, yeah, it goes back way, it goes way back. Oh my God, it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. It makes me wish I could be there, but it's safer for us to be at home, and um, being able to host this stream
Yeah,
with you
somebody
all
had to stay
live.
and do this live stream, so that's why we're here.
Yes, absolutely. So I don't know if we need to wrap it up, or if we're going to be able to patch it back to the park as people are filling in. Some last remarks from Ebony before everyone are dismissed, but I'm trying to see
I think
if
it sounds like we're going to wrap,
we're going to
and
wrap it. Okay,
yeah, as
awesome.
people finally make their
Well,
way there.
well, thank you so much for tuning in to this stream. This has been an amazing event, and stand in the spirit of what this is about. This is to, demonstrate, this stand and this call to action for our elected officials to make significant changes to the way policing happens in our neighborhoods, and a number of other law changes or new laws to be created in order to allow Black folks to really feel safe and just transition from surviving into thriving. There's a number of ways to do that. There are a number of organizations who are working to make that happen, and your support today and for the years to come until we're able to fully fulfill that is so very necessary. And yeah, thank you so much for your time. Please go take care of yourself. As we mentioned about mental health,
We had one
improving
other
it.
bit of news,
Oh, some
yeah,
news. Okay.
that we didn't want to end, with regards to a press release from the ACLU of
Oh,
Washington.
okay. Okay.
And yeah, I think it involves the ban on using chemical weapons
Okay.
on, yeah, civilians and protests. Um, so we're getting that now. Today, the U.S. District Court Judge Richard Jones issued a temporary restraining order preventing the city of Seattle from using chemical agents and other less lethal weapons against protests and demonstrators. Tear gas may only be used against a targeted individual after all other available options are exhausted, and no chemical irritants, pepper spray or tear gas, or projectiles may be deployed.
Indiscriminately into a
Yeah,
crowd. Yeah.
in issuing the order, Judge Jones stated that the plaintiffs have um, Are we getting that full statement? As tens of thousands of people were gathering today to march silently and in solidarity against police brutality and misconduct, the U.S. District Court affirmed their rights to protest free from state violence. That's a major victory for today.
Absolutely.
Black Lives Matter demands a justice system that works for us every day. A legal system grounded in racism can never deliver equal treatment. We take this victory and we keep fighting. We keep marching. We keep assembling to demand the seismic changes that are necessary to rid our justice system of institutional racism.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations to all of your work in supporting this and reaching out to all of the powers that be and really resonating this message forward. And our court system is is responding. Understanding that the way in which people have been treated during these protests cannot stand can't stand for it any further. And I appreciate that. That's I may actually be able to go to a protest in the future. So yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this. Continue to follow our our webpage. Wow, I'm old. I really told my age there. Follow our website as well as our Facebook page, and we're also on Twitter as well
And we're
for
newly
more
on
updates.
Instagram.
Huh, oh yeah, and Instagram. Oh, we
Keeping up with the
graduated.
times.
Yes. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. if maybe we have Tyler to step back a little bit so they're not quite, so they're here.
Right.
We want people to be able to have a conversation all whole group and not feel like they're going to get targeted later. And that's what I'm concerned about. So I just want to like make sure that the pressure here is not just there.
Absolutely, that's very wonderful. But I just want you guys to know Cairo is here to make sure that our narrative gets out in the right way. That's something we really try to understand. Everyone here needs to be holding themselves accountable for the utility of that tech as we portray it outside for other people, because the national narrative doesn't look like what's actually going on here. It does not look like this at all. They say that we have warlords and restored people and fighting, et cetera, et cetera. So at the end of the day, those are our allies. For people who are not there, so this continue. You in the news is going to make it better because it's been their view that been made it sound like the way that it was now. That's local. The national narrative is one that's fucked up and Fox. But they've been really good. Correct me if I'm wrong. We also have American rights. They are Americans and freedom of the press. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right. Correct me if I'm wrong. How are we keeping the police out? Are we talking about rights? How are we keeping the police out? We did not force the police out. The police out of their own will and listen.
There is currently a breakdown of communication. Okay, so we are losing focus. Like, this is the sort of discussion that this is why we are having a general assembly. There's a lot of discussion and a lot of questions that need to happen amongst just like people that care enough to be right here. And it's like we don't have the proper amplification or the proper systems to have these conversations right now anywhere other than like in person. So yes, everyone that is talking, do not like keep talking, stay here, but we need to like hurry up because not everyone can stay forever and sort ourselves into however many groups, and then you can talk on like whatever group you want to, and you can float between them. But it's just going to be like a structure of raising your hand, having turns to speak. That's called a stack. When you raise your hand, there should be one person that is taking notes about who is next speaking. There should be one person timing each group. There should be one person facilitating each group so that everyone has a voice. However, we can't all talk to each other at once, so we're going to break out into these. How many groups? 4. So, if you think you should be part of a group that is today talking about the short-term goals, which is like what's going to happen tonight and in the next 10 hours. Like, we need more people here from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. If you're interested in like just short-term solutions or food, or that sounds like what you want to do, make a circle over here. Just come over here and make a big group circle. If you short-term goals over here. If you want to be a part of a group that is talking about the long-term vision of this building, if you have ideas, if you want your voice heard about what you think would be a good idea, how we should use this, or if you just have questions, make a group in the middle. If you really like using your instincts to just talk about how you feel about what's going on here and what you feel is wrong or right, concerns that you have about like the philosophy of why we're here, like should we even be here? What happens if police come again? Should we give back to precincts at all? Like it's more like I don't know how to describe the vibe group, but if you want to be part of this vibe group, over here in front of this liquor wine sign.
You guys need a vibe group. We need to make sure that our community feels safe. We need to make sure that we all feel safe walking around. We need to make sure that we are able to hold people accountable that are doing things wrong. So please have a discussion about how we can project the right vibe out to the world. That it's a safe thing that they want to be a part of and they messed up. And we're going to have that group over there, the vibe. So now I'm going to go.
For people who are returning.
Okay, I'm going to consider long-term goals are what we are going to do for this building. What we are going to turn this monument into a monument for social justice. 5 is how we are going to make sure our image is being protected correctly around the world. We need to make sure that we are protecting the right energy out in the world. This is something that they want to be a part of. The last thing on this list is tech and communication. We need to find a way to stay connected. Whether you're here or not, if you want to be involved in the organization, we cannot all be here 24/7, 7 days a week. I was here for over 30 days or 30 hours yesterday, and I can't do that every day. It's going to be impossible. But I still want to be connected. So remember, if we can find a way that we can all be connected via technology. I want to reiterate the first point, which is short-term goals. We need to look at what we are going to do in situations such as if the cops are to come back. One thing I suggested once to do was a peaceful vision on, and you guys come up with other suggestions. The other thing, some short-term goals would be how to make sure people keep getting fed. Maybe how to solve some of these homeless that we see walking around us. Maybe how to put more social workers out there that to help people that have mental health problems. We need to set an example. We need to set an example. Find out ways, think of ways that we can set an example. We have the smartest people in the world in Seattle. Let's figure it out.
Yeah, as far as I can see,
for the rest of the world.
Behind me, in this, it's just, it might even be more than 10,000 people.
How do you guys get your information out there?
Okay, so
yeah,
technology
this is
23rd
Avenue in Seattle, and the march started at Judson Park, which is up here on this hill, and it's kind of going down into this valley and back up this other hill on 23rd towards that different park. I'm actually not sure what that different park is called. Just the size of the crowd. I was just down in this valley a minute ago.
Is there
group
number 1? Is there somebody
going in
point on that group?
anywhere around this number of people? It seems
If y'all could decide somebody who's point and then somebody to connect with Carolyn so we can report back online, that would be dope. This is for all the groups.
The towers just can't support it.
Group number 2, we're going to have you guys meeting right over here in front of the tent in the middle of the street if you want to talk about long-term goals.
Long-term goals, long-term objectives.
We want to find out long-term goals. Number 3, 5, and impact. We need to make sure we are projecting the right feeling around for everyone to feel safe. Whether it's groups of people walking the streets and just smiling at everyone and just talking to everyone. Whether it's ways to get more children here during the day and things like that. Think of better ideas and those things come back to support those.
Just a massive.
You guys meet right over here next to that
number of people walking down 23rd. It's actually so many people that it starts to back up. There's these little pauses where people can't move forward anymore, and then it's kind of like a traffic jam, right? So it's kind of like stop and go foot traffic.
This is a working meeting.
Yeah, it's just, I think it might just be a continuous stream of people this between the two parks, and the two parks are, I think, a mile and 2 miles apart. So look at the density. You're probably looking at half a mile here. If you look at this density of people, it could easily be 20,000 people out here in Seattle today.
We're going to break up technology.
And it's a nasty day out here in Seattle. It's raining and it's cloudy.
We're gonna have you meet right here. If you want to find out a way to keep all of us members
sunny. Yeah, so many people coming out with umbrellas and raincoats.
Over there, right here in the crosswalk, so that we are all separated. All right.
And because we really want to keep this to be a working session, so we're going to do breakouts. Let's try to start with the first 20 minutes. We check back in at 4 o'clock. So please don't stand around waiting for people to speak some more. Everybody get in the group, talk to each other.
Find the group you want to be a part of. Talk there for 20 minutes, and then we're going to be back up.
Going on for about an hour and 40 minutes. People just continuing to march down the street here. And there's still thousands of people in the park at the top of the hill when I left about an hour ago. So, the march might be happening
You.
for hours. They won't get everyone into the park pretty quickly, I think. But, there's just
Okay, so for the, we stayed in the groups. So right here in this corner, short-term goals. Right here, long-term goals. Back here, we got the vibe group. Over here, tech and communications, which may or may not break out into two groups. We'll see.
What are you gonna check out?
I gotta leave now.
We check back in on time in 20 minutes.
It's not ready, right?
Are you guys seeing any reports of crowd size in the news?
I know.
We were just here last week and it was not like this. It was crazy. Like I left and I kept hearing like Judkins too, there was a lot of
I feel like just in my view,
Yeah, less stress, let your mind be free. Shift when the fog lifts, you can finally see. There's a feedback loop that delay like an echo.
Yeah,
Let's go. Loud and clear is how you need to hear. And reason disappear when you feed the fear. There's a feedback loop that warp like distortion. Keep your mind sharp like a swordsman.
Yeah, people kind of getting up here and then they turn around and they're like, oh shit. So everyone's trying to get like photos and stuff. So yeah, this is coming down the street everyone's on here is 23rd Ave in South Seattle. So downtown is kind of over here to the left of the street, and everyone's filing out of Judson Park at the top of the hill. Yeah, there's I was surprised. I was about to say, is there a very tall person or somebody on someone's shoulders? It was the shoulders. Yeah, the weather is shit. It's raining and overcast and gross. See if I can elevate this slightly more for you guys.
One voice.
Okay, I'm gonna
one message.
Turn around and keep
one message. One
keep
team,
marching. I think once we get to the top of this hill, hopefully we should be able to see the park.
One message. Voice. One message.
But again, it is a silent march, so you won't see or you won't hear a lot of chants or stuff like that. There's some little bit of small talk happening, but very, very quiet compared to the other marches we've seen in the past 2 weeks.
One message.
One message.
And again, there's got to be, we were just looking down the street behind us. People just joined, but there's got to be maybe 10 or 20,000 people out here. So I think this this march was actually the first one officially organized by the Black Lives Matter Seattle chapter. I think that's why it got such a big turnout. Was it wasn't kind of just people meeting up in Capitol unofficially. This was an official show of support. So yeah, if you just and we had a shot maybe about a minute or two ago looking down the street, and you could see about what looked like 10,000 people marching. Where are we now? We're passing 23rd Ave and Waite Street, W-A-I-T-E, but it's really just like the entire 23rd Avenue in South Seattle. From Judson Park south, anywhere in there, you're going to hit the crowd. Like, I thought I was going to miss it because I showed up like half an hour, 45 minutes late, but you can't miss it. I feel like you could show up 2 hours from now and there's still going to be people marching and heading out of Judson towards this other park south of here. Yeah, I would say come out if you want. There's no way this dies down anytime soon. I would suggest a rain jacket or an umbrella. I've got both. The umbrellas to keep the phone dry, rain jackets to keep me dry. Once I get to the park where the end of the march is, I'm assuming we'll see another, like, I don't know, 10,000 or so people there, because the march has been going for like an hour and 45 minutes now, and it's just a constant stream of people this wide. I am going to switch over to Twitch at that point, though, so if you guys want to see, kind of what the end result of this looks like, be sure to go into my account here on Twitter and find that Twitch link. I just created that account because a bunch of people were saying the quality on Twitter sucks, which I agree with. Okay, I think I put my account in chat. Oh, it's actually a little bit of sun starting to come out now. That's nice. So yeah, you can see people coming out of their houses and watch the crowd go by. So a lot of people coming out of their homes and businesses to be like, damn, what the fuck is going on? And it's just a constant stream of people taking up the entire street that's been going for about 2 hours now. So I assume it's going to be a massive group at the park it ends at. Does anyone know the name of the park it ends at? I mean, I'm going to find out soon enough when I get there, but I saw it on the announcement earlier, but I can't remember the name of it. Oh yeah, the sun's really shining through now. This is great. So we're just passing, walking south on 23rd Ave, passing McClellan Street, M-C-C-L-E-L-L-A-N. So just passing that intersection. People are saying Jefferson Park. Thank you for your youthful energy. You're welcome. I'm not that young, but yeah, it does definitely wear on you, physically, to come out as often as I've been trying to do to stream. And then mentally too, especially when the tear gas and rubber bullets and stuff were flying last weekend or the previous week, really starts to get in your head. Is there an estimate of the total number of folks? Based on what I've seen, I think it's got to be 10 to 20,000 people. There's just so many people. When I started the stream, we were looking down a street, and it was just you know, double wide lanes on each side, so 4 lanes wide, I think. And then, yeah, people just filling the whole thing as far as you could see. Back maybe like half a mile or quarter mile. Oh, my allergies. So yeah, there's definitely 10,000 plus people. Could be 20 or 30. Like, I can't even tell because you can't see far enough. Like, it's just a never-ending street full of people, really. Bless you. Thank you. I see some people walking back, which leads me to believe that we might be getting close to the final destination if people had got there and maybe they're walking back to the front to get to their cars. I'm not sure. Yeah, if anyone sees a crowd size estimate on like the news or, you know, from one of those sources that has a chopper or a drone, let me know. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting strategy here where the main part of the group is walking down 23rd Ave to the Jefferson Park, and then the people that are trying to get back to their cars are on the sidewalk going the opposite direction. Much smaller crowd going back, because I think the bulk of the group is still behind me trying to get to Jefferson.
Luis, esto es aquí en Seattle. Es un silent march. Que en vez de hacer los riots y todo el escándalo.
So are you marching but have no clue what you're doing? That's half correct. I knew the starting point and I knew it was going south. I didn't know the name of the park that was the destination. I saw like a map of it, but I didn't note it in my brain. I kind of headed out really quickly today. That's what you're for, chat. You got to keep me plugged in. I mean, there's no way anyone on the ground would have a good head count on the number of people here. That's not really something I could know, just because, you know, it's a multi-mile march and I can only see maybe a half mile in front or behind me in an ideal situation when I'm like up on a hill. So that's not really something I could know was the total crowd size. I can tell you it's 10,000 or above based on what I saw on that one hill. I can't imagine it's any smaller than that. But it could be way larger too.
Y la gente todavía sigue caminando desde el primer parque, desde las 2 de la tarde.
I think we're arriving at the park now. It kind of looks like.
Está aquí apoyando Black Lives Matter.
Again, I am going to switch over to Twitch here soon once we get into the park to increase the stream quality. So go into my Twitter bio. You can see the link to my Twitch. It's just called Sean Guy. SHAWNGUI. GUI was taken, so I got crafty. You can see people giving out waters here to the crowd. You can see this poor person in this truck is like, how do I get past? It's going to be a while. I would not recommend coming anywhere near 23rd Ave in a car right now. It's just a never-ending march of people, so you're gonna get stuck.
Mucha gente que se está regresando. Están regalando comida allá en el parque también. Están regalando burritos con trail mix.
I'm surprised the stream is still stayed up this long. It was cutting out. It was cutting out previously. We might be near some better towers, but there's so many people here that my 4G keeps like cutting out. It has like a little X across it, which I think means like the tower's overloaded or it's not getting enough bandwidth. So there's so many people that whenever they march through a given area, it kind of just drains the towers.
De George Floyd.
Maybe the towers in South Seattle aren't quite up for it. Is their job getting done, in my opinion? I think the goal of the march is just to show solidarity.
No se mira que se va a terminar esto.
Almost sneezed again. I think the job of the march is just to, show solidarity, kind of get the word out, let people come out and support each other. So it does feel like it's achieving that. Like, it's a very positive atmosphere. You can tell people are happy to be out showing support for the Black Lives Matter movement. So yeah, I think it's achieving the goal. Oh my God. Black Lives Matter, King County says it's over 60,000. That's fucking insane. Holy shit. I could see that being true though. I'll be interested to see how many people are in the park here at the end of the march. There were a massive number of people at the start in the park, and that it had already been like it had already been like 45 minutes when I showed up. Since people started heading out, it was still packed at the starting part. You just can't move this many people through the streets that quickly. You know, if it's actually 40, 50, 60,000, it's going to take like an hour or two to feed out of that park.
Tu lucha es mi lucha.
What neighborhood are we marching now? I think it's just South Seattle. I'm not sure if this neighborhood has a particular name. But we're on 23rd Ave, and I'm standing at the intersection of South Hind Street, Hinds. So 23rd Ave and Hinds Street is where part of the crowd is, but it's totally from Judson Park to Jefferson Park, I think. Just a shitload of people. Still marching? Oh yeah, this is going to be going on for hours longer. There's so many people. It just can't move fast enough. So yeah, almost everyone has a mask. I've got one. Everyone I've seen has one. So everyone's been pretty good with the masks. Definitely a lot of people who live in the area coming out of their houses to show support. You can see these guys just sitting on their porch with this Black Lives Matter sign, just kind of watching people go by. It must be crazy to just like sit in your house and see a giant line of people walk by for like 3 or 4 hours. You're just like, oh, it's gonna end soon. Next hour. Oh, it's gonna end soon. Next hour. Just like keeps going. Shoe sales are going to spike tomorrow. Yeah. So I think we've just bumped up against the park here behind this fence. It's actually people golfing back there. So maybe that's not it. It's kind of weird to see so many people here, and then you look here and see some guys golfing back behind that fence. Oh yeah, you can see. Just goes on forever. So yeah, I'm sorry that the Twitter live stream quality sucks so much. I am moving the streams to Twitch. So if you go to my Twitter, it's just there's a link there to my Twitch account. I'm gonna switch it up here, just to do a comparison, so you guys can tell me like, oh yeah, Twitch is way better. You know, Twitter was actually better. I don't think Twitter can possibly be better. Where are we? We are walking now down Spokane Street, Spokane. So we're passing Spokane and 21st Avenue intersection. So yeah, I'm passing Spokane and 21st Ave intersection. You can see people running into each other. She was like, oh, I recognize you from your sign. You can see the primary part of the group progressing down Spokane Street here, and then just a single file line of people coming back the opposite direction who already got to the park and are wanting to head back to where they park their cars or head back to their houses. I think there's going to be some speeches or some sort of rally at the destination, I thought. Pretty sure I saw that on the flyer, the posting. So someone was saying that the Black Lives Matter King County Twitter was estimating the crowd size at 60,000 or 60,000 people plus. It's hard to get an appreciation for that here because you know, we're just on a narrow street, but try to get a shot backwards at the top of this hill. Maybe it'll get a somewhat of a sense of scale. Someone says, am I from there? Pronounced Spokane. I'm from Virginia. I moved here a few years ago. That's Beacon Hill, right? I don't know. All I know is we're going up Spokane Street. And then you can see people on the left side here on the sidewalk coming back the other direction. Assume they got the destination and are like, okay, we're going back to our cars. All right, let me try to get a shot backwards here for you guys. So you can kind of see here this entire street's just full of people. Is anyone manning the zone? I don't know. I haven't been to the CHAZ, young, hip neighborhood of Seattle where it's a lot of nightlife, a lot of young people live there. So there's this park there called Cal Anderson, and that's where you can see all the protest footage in Seattle, where people are like fighting over the umbrella, or when the tear gas comes out. Whenever anything happens in Seattle, it's basically in that Cal Anderson Park intersection. So they turned that into a self-declared autonomous zone, which basically just means they put up barricades to keep cars out. And it just turned into a giant street.
Repeat after me! Repeat after me! Repeat after me! Repeat after me! Repeat after him! Repeat after him!
Zone, which basically just means they put up barricades to keep cars out, and it just turned into
Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! One message! One message! One team! One voice! One message! One message! One team! One voice!
they put up barricades to keep cars out, and it just turned into a giant street.
One team! One voice! One message! One message! 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 One team! One team, one voice, one message, one message, one team, one voice, one message, one message, one team, one voice, one message, one message, team, one voice, one message.
Who has the answer to that question? Hold on, that's so sweet. I just heard I do. The question is, who has information about Night Watch? By information, I wonder if you're asking like how people get in contact with Night Watch or where you should go. So the future crystals. Oh wait, what?
There's a group right over here, you guys, that says Night Watch. You actually have a sign-up sheet that you might have for like the week. There's a sign-up sheet right over there for Night Watch. But I think the point they were trying to make is that you also need to find a way to stay visualized and motivated and find a way to connect that way. So how about if you or if you talk?
Also, the group Future Crystals that has a tent way down there, like in the grassy area, they have information on what it's been like in the past few nights and might be able to guide people. So they definitely are able to guide people in sharing the knowledge that they already have with people that are.
So I think it'll be a little bit easier for us all if we saw with the technology and communication group next. Can we get our representative from the technology and communication group next? Of ideas you guys have so we can all stay connected. That's it.
Hello? Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. So first off, on the terms of the Night Watch, I want to say there is a signal chat going around. If you find me, I'll include you on it. If you're interested, people like you said at the book, so we'll know about that. But anyway, as far as the hacking communication, we've talked about different ways to keep in communication until the website is able to go up. Like I said before, we do have an open meeting at Cal Anderson at 5, and if anyone wants to be involved in that. We talked a bit about different Twitter accounts and whatnot, and the best socials to move forward with, and if we want to go with an encrypted server versus something more basic, that's something too that we want to discuss more. Someone else in my group had another little announcement.
So as a part of tech and communications, we're thinking of breaking it up. Obviously, we need to communicate, but if there isn't Wi-Fi or those kinds of connectivity or capabilities, it's going to be harder. So instead of us trying to enable some of these other programs with technology, we're going to start with basics to make sure people are connected. And what I really need help with, I can build the website, but I'd rather focus on this really hard problem. And anybody who's interested in networking or anything of that profession, please, let's go talk over here. It's going to be something we'll do tactical apps, but I don't think we come up with any strategy. So we'll up to the side topic.
That's a great suggestion, you guys. If you would like to be a part of the technology leadership team, this gentleman is the first. These two are the first ones. Wait, technology and communication. Is that how we're doing it? Technology and communication. All right. If you would like to be a member of the technology leadership team, please come and talk to this woman, Carolyn. She's going to be the leader of the committee of technology there. If you would like to be a part of the leadership team on communication, please come over and speak to this gentleman here and get his information. And you guys can plan meetings on how you guys are going to get the word out to each other and keep us continually updated and informed. Now that we have the information of how we're all going to stay united, let's get on to our next topic, which I believe we already did short term, right? So we're going to go on to long term next. Going to get a representative from somebody talking about long term. Were you a part of the discussion? Were you a part of the discussion? Were you a part of the circle discussion? Okay, well, we're going to have this man do it first. And then, hold on a second, okay, sir? We're not doing open mic today. We're not doing open mic today. We're not doing open mic today.
don't even need that. I don't even need that to talk. This is what I want to say. My name is Frederick Romel Dyson, the second. And this bill, that belongs to the police. We ain't gonna be able to do nothing with that. What we need to be focused on is the systemic racism that's going on in these companies that people cannot work and feed their families. Where the black man right down here at Sound Transit can't go to work, but Sound Transit is taking all of our money, everybody's money, for your car tab, when you go in the grocery store, everything you buy, you're paying taxes on. Everything. They're taking your money. So remember that. They're taking your money. I don't care what nobody says. Your money's getting taken. Your money getting taken. Your money getting taken. Yours, everybody. So if we're gonna work together and live together, it's got to be fair across the board. You can't go to work and all of us see is this guy right here, and then it's just him and all his buddies, and then the black man don't get a chance to work. And then when you do come to work, they calling you a nigga. They writing you up. You got to go to the discipline, and then when everybody that you see, from the time you get the job, you go to training, and I'm gonna show you guys something even better. This is Sound Transit right here. This is high level security right here, so everybody can see. I ain't just talking shit. I work for it. This is work. This is a 9-week course of work that I've been fired. I haven't worked since last year because I got called a nigga, spit on, and I got fired because I went to the guy, a white man, and said, hey man, these guys call me a nigga. I don't want to fight. I'm telling you who they are, but they were supervisors, so they took all of their word and say, no, you get your black ass out of here. We're going to keep these white boys, and they down there right now working. Mr. Nathan Barton, Mr. Michael Billadou. You guys can look these guys up on the internet where they get in fights with black dudes, and they still get to go to work the next day. They kick you in your ass and go to work the next day. But your black ass got to go home. You can't work. You can't feed your son. You can't feed your daughter. You can't go grocery shopping. You can't go swipe your card on Christmas. You can't go order shit from Amazon. You can't get your little boy a skateboard that he see the little white boys rolling down the streets playing with. You don't get to do none of that shit. None of that. But then they say, oh, don't sell no drugs. Don't rob no stores. Don't smoke no weed. But then you go down there and get off of I-5 and go off the motherfucking Emerald Queen. They selling weed in the parking lot. In the parking lot. In the parking lot. But then you go to fill out an application to get a job inside the casino and they drug test you. You still can't get the job. So it's all systemic racism, all of it. So if you fight with the police, you're giving in to what they want you to do. That's just giving in to them. That's an excuse. Where's the mayor? Where's Constantine? These are the guys that got their hand on the money. I used to guard their door while they have private meetings on where the money was gonna go. If she came down here and seen me right now, she would say, how you doing, Mr. Dyson? And I would say, I'm doing bad. I'm really fucked up right now. I haven't worked since fucking last year. Okay. Last year.
Whose lives matter?
Black lives matter. So when they killed George Floyd, it was like dropping the bomb on Hiroshima. The whole world woke up. People just woke up because everybody saw what I saw. We saw a person lose their life. So what is it gonna take? So Trump gonna send the army down here to kill all of y'all? He gonna kill all of us? No, they'll probably just kill my black ass, and the rest of y'all might get away if you lucky. Yeah, that's about how it's gonna go. So what I'm saying to y'all, we can continue. Hold on a second, man. Hold on a second, man. Hold on. I don't even know your name. Hold on. I'm talking right now. I just told him what my name is. I'm gonna say it loud again. Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
My name is Frederick Romel Dyson. Okay, so when I get done, I'm gonna give it to you. Right. So what I'm saying is, not only. Hold on 1 second. I know black women that I trained with, worked with, just like this sister right here. They went to work every single day and got harassed where they touched on her and did this to her, where she just had to walk off her job. 25 years old. That's not right. That's not right.
No.
That's not right.
No.
And then they cover this shit up. They cover it up. It's all a cover up. So what we gotta do, and to keep this going, is we got the protest in front of Sound Transit. We got the protest in front of Expedia. We got the protest in front of Microsoft. We got protest in front of Windermere. We got the protest in front of Park. We got the protest in front of Macy's. We got a protest in front of Kmart. All these people that's sucking money out of the community, we got to get them to put back into the community the right way. Not by fighting with them. No, not by let the police chief have that building. We want to see the mayor. We want to sit down at the table and talk to all of them for real so they can show us where the money is. Where is the money? Because they're stealing that money. They're stealing that money. Anytime they can pay a mayor to leave his post after he raped a bunch of kids and then put another mayor in there that won't even come talk to y'all, where y'all think the money is? They got the money. They got it. They got it. So I'm going to leave y'all today. I hope I get a chance to talk to y'all again before they murder my black ass, but I'm going to keep on talking. Power to the people.
All right, you guys, we got to stay focused. We got to stay focused. Now, once again, I know we all came here to hear Black voices. We all came here to share experiences. But we have been doing that for the past week, and we need to figure out solutions to the problems that we are facing right in front of us. So we are going to get back on track. But first, we need to remain united. So what are we here for? Whose lives matter?
Black lives matter.
Whose lives matter?
Black lives matter.
We are all here because we saw a man being on the ground restrained, choked with a knee in his neck. Say his name.
George Floyd.
We are all here because we saw a woman being shot in her own home while she was asleep. Say her name.
Breonna Taylor.
We are here because we saw a man from our own city being shot while holding his own child. Say his name. We are here because we saw a man from our own city being assaulted by cops. His name is Manuel Ellis. I'll tell you that because there's a lot of people that have happened to. There's a lot of people that have been assaulted and killed by cops, and that is why we are all here, so that that does not happen again. So, back onto our solutions. Where were we at? Long-term goals. Thank you. Long-term goals. Can we please get the gentleman that was up here representing long-term goals? Thank you.
How's it going, man? Say what? Hold it close. Okay. All right. So this is the long-term goals. There's a lot of them. The one underlying point is that we want to agree that this building is not one. We want to establish a legal precedent for that. Sorry. Hold it close. Okay. But yes, so today we want to establish that as underlying point. Sorry. Do it. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, getting an attorney, looking for the legal basis for how we can do that is one of the big things. Like we want to make this long term. We want to make this solidified. We want to make this concrete that we, as a community, as everyone in Seattle, or just the world now owns this. So to that point, let's see. So we had a lot of very disorganized notes here. Let me go through this. One of the other points was youth education. It's about gaps where American education systems do not show what racism really is, or how you as a person of color, or even you as a white person, might experience, might encounter this, and how to combat it, how from the get-go, how to let children know. Saying louder? Okay, I'm the quiet talking, I'm sorry. How to bake it in from birth for children, how to be anti-racist, and how to, if you're a person of color, how to deal with that, and also to say that. So yeah, so starting from the get-go there. So that's a really important one. Also establishing a memorial inside of here, a safe space, a sort of monument to the horrors of systemic racism as they have been, in the past few weeks, in addition to throughout American history. I think and having community artists work on that too, so we have that permanent too. There's a lot of idea of permanency. That's one of the big things we want to establish. Community assistance is another one. So I think this has been a major talking point for Black Lives Matter overall, is that take the funds that we get from the cops, or that we give to the cops, and put it into especially mental health. Mental health consultation is one of the biggest things. Oftentimes when you call the cops, you don't want the cops. You want somebody to help with mental health disorders. We killed Charlene Lyles for the exact reason, like she had mental health problems. They knew that. They killed her. So that's one. Duwamish reparations is one we brought up. It's hard to do this. We're trying to figure out exactly what that looks like. Duwamish reparations, this is Duwamish land that we live on. I think we all acknowledge that. Getting Duwamish leaders, Duwamish tribal leaders involved in this process, what that looks like, we're not entirely clear yet. So, one, getting a lawyer. Two, getting in touch with Duwamish tribal leaders to see what they think. How we do this, use the land, and also still honor them. Let's see. And another point that was made is that this is the focal point for the region now. The whole world's watching. This is new. This is brand spanking new. We want to provide a good example. So, kind of acting as a beacon to the region long term to make this a place where people from all over the state, all over the country, all over the world can come to discuss how to dismantle inequity. That's a big thing. Is to make it like everyone's welcome here. Come from all over. This is our new our UN of racial inequality, of Hispanic racial inequality. All right, let me sum up here. There's a lot going on here. Honestly, that's the key ones there. And the communication goals is the last one. We want to put this down. We want to make sure the world knows what we stand for and what this stands for long term. Thank you.
Before you go, Floyd, you guys, we need to make sure that we all stay connected as leaders. Hold on, don't go anywhere. So I would nominate that this gentleman please be the lead of our long-term goal strategy or one of the members of that council. And I would encourage anybody who would also like to take part to come and talk to this man. And also,
for how long? For how long? Like long-term strategy for like always, like the representative.
Our long-term strategy for this building.
No.
What we are going to do with this building.
Wait,
for now.
For now, for today.
We're not. This is not just. He's not representative. He's not representative of the community, and he's not choosing the thing. What I'm saying is we need to form a council. Can we make him the leader of forming the council while we have him here with our technology and communication team that we just set up, so that we can all stay connected. And those of us who would also like to join the council will be welcome to join the council as well. But we need to find a way to stay connected. Is everybody with me there? Is everybody on board? Okay, I want to make sure I'm representing the community. You guys understand what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm sure. So what I'm saying is, if you guys would like to join, please come up. We need you to stay connected with him and the community and the communication team. Yeah. Is everybody on board with me? I feel like some people are lost.
What's your name again? Who? Matt? I'm with Capital Pride, and we're the ones that are putting out the petition to make this a community center.
Also, we need a petition. I was saying that earlier today. Thank you. I'm going to announce this. We have a petition. Yeah, come on up. We have a petition that we are going to be passing around, guys.
Really want to commend. I want to introduce myself to everybody. My name is Charlotte Lefevre. I'm the director of Capital Hill Pride. Yeah. In 9, I was elected as your Capitol Hill Community Council Vice President, head of the arts and events. I helped start the Capitol Hill Pride Festival on Broadway, which actually became the largest street festival when the parade moved off the hill.
Hey, move out the hill.
My museum was on the north end of Broadway with the business owners and the community. Several days ago, we started an idea and a petition also to see this East Street thing turn into a community center. Absolutely. I don't, with all due respect, see this precinct returning to the police department. There's very much need. This June 27th, Capital Pride will be having its 6th annual Pride March up this street on Pine Street. We recognize diversity and have worked with the community extensively, including the Central District leaders. And I'm proud to sit there and say Terry Rogers Kemp, who is co-director of the NAACP Police Oversight Committee, is on board and very much supporting the idea of this being turned into a community center. It is, should be. It is it's taxpayers. So there is a change.org also petition, and I'm glad to hear there's other efforts. But we do want it eventually to become a place that anybody, especially Black youth, can come and breathe. Okay, and I just want to mention two historical areas and points and incidences that happen in this area. Up here on 13th Street, there was a biracial baby that lived here for 1 year. That was baby Barack Obama. Okay? His mother went to University of Washington. She eventually got overwhelmed with his young mother and moved back to Hawaii. A lot of people don't know that. And also, for those who may not remember, back in 2015, a gentleman by the name of William Wingate, just on this corner here of Pike and 12, was arrested for carrying a golf club. The East Precinct did not give him water for 8 hours. He asked for water, he'd been walking all day. This East Precinct did not give him water. Water for 8 hours. I have had more than my fair share of issues with this East Precinct. For 11 years as a community director of the Capitol Pride Festival, with the Capitol Pride March, the East Precinct has failed. And so I do want to recognize and commend any and all efforts to make this a community center, period. Period.
Thank you for starting that petition. Everyone who has done that of her own free will stepped up as a leader of the community and said, I will start this petition. Nobody asked her to do that. She did that on her own, and she deserves our round of applause. Now, one thing I think I'm going to point out, you guys, is that I think we should really make this building more than just a community center. We should make this community a social services center. We need to look at people who help and help them. We need to look at people in need and be there for them. We need to make it a monument of social justice and reform. A monument of the power of what we can do and accomplish together as a people. So please, let's remember why we are here. We came here to discuss things as a group and find solutions. We have been here all week, you guys. We have been here all week. We do not have time to listen to everyone's story. I'm sorry. There are countless Black lives that have been taken. Countless. We do not have time for those of you who have just gotten on board and are just learning. I understand you want to share your stories, but now we are trying to find solutions. Everybody here is here because we acknowledge what? We acknowledge what? Thank you. We know this, you guys. We know. But we are here to find solutions on what we can do to save Black lives, to save trans lives, to save gay lives, to protect women's rights, to teach people that science is real. We all know we're here for a lot. We all know we're here for a lot. If there was a spark that lit the match, what was that spark? Who was the spark? Whose lives matter?
Black Lives Matter!
Who was that spark?
George Floyd!
And whose lives matter?
Black Lives Matter!
We all know that. Everybody here knows that. We have come here as a community to inspire change for the world. Let's get focused again. Next, we're going to be talking about vibes, you guys. I'm going to pass the mic on.
people want to know where to find the petition if you have time.
But I wanted to say that I personally think there should be a separate microphone and time for people just to tell their stories. There needs to be amplified space where people like the man, I did not catch his name, but he is the reason that I'm out here. Voices like yours, voices like his, there will be space for that, but this is strategy. But we need, everyone's stories to be told, just not you right now, unless it's an emergency and you have to tell your story.
If we could get some bullhorns donated and maybe set up a stage at the bottom of the hill, I think that would be a great opportunity there if somebody would like to step up and leadership over that. No, we're really not doing so.
The entertainment industry, your stage hands, your stage managers, is organizing to provide things like that. So we're going to be putting out information on how to get in touch with that group. Not just Red State, the Stage Hands Union, a bunch of these other companies, venues that you guys have been to, folks that work at the Rendezvous or the Showbox. Not necessarily those venues, but the folks that work there are going to turn out for you. So we don't want you to have to worry about a bullhorn here or a bullhorn there. Get them if you want them, but know that support is going to be there and that information is going out. Yeah!
Hey.
You guys is looking real good out here. Make some round of applause for yourselves. Make a round of applause for yourselves, man. This is what love and unity is all about, and let's make it something good. Listen, I just want to brief statement real quick on the end of my deck. I just make sure once you guys know it's very important that each and every one of you guys go out and vote. I want to make sure that you guys know the importance of voting. It's very crucial, especially when we talk about a change in community. We got to make sure that the people that is out there in those offices that's trying to run for us, we give them the vote if they have our, especially if they have our full support. And don't just listen to the friend who says this is the person you think you should vote for. You make sure you go get that information for yourself. Make sure that person that's running is running on behalf of your morals, your values, and you keep it easy.
Whose lives matter?
Black Lives Matter!
Whose lives matter?
Black Lives Matter!
All right, everybody. We are trying to maintain focus. Did we get through our 5 people completely? No, we didn't even start, right? So that's why I'm trying to maintain focus. Can we stay focused? Focus! All right, we're going to stay focused one more time. Focus!
Focus!
All right, let's stay focused. Can we get a representative from our 5 group up here?
Hello, I'm Benny. I use they, them pronouns. You can talk to me about any of the things that I'm going to say after. So our group was the Vibes group, which from the get-go is a very large topic. We had a very hard time having any real discussions about any one topic. So overall thing from that was that when that happens, we need to be able to break out into smaller groups. And we need a strategy for how to do that. One way that I've suggested to do that is to have everyone in your group go around. If they feel comfortable saying their name, they may. Their pronouns, whatever other information is relevant. And 3 things that they want to talk about in that one, or one thing that they want to talk about in that topic, the vibes topic, in 3 words. And then after that, we can kind of see a shared idea and how to break out into smaller groups from there. Because we weren't really able to talk about what vibes even meant, and larger ways to talk about our vibes and how to connect that to other groups as well, because our vibe comes across in long-term goals, in short-term goals, and in our night watch and in our communications. So it's a very large topic, and we need to be able to break out into smaller groups and maintain communication after that. So I would, my suggestion is to include that way of breaking out at the beginning of conversations when you see the size of the group that you have. Some topics that did come up within Vibes was holding space, having a conversation about holding space for different voices, people who may not be comfortable speaking in large groups, as well as facilitation and how to help facilitators and help people who maybe don't have as much experience with facilitating in creating more facilitation and creating some shared guidelines around how to facilitate. There is also a barrier group talking specifically about the vibes that people get when they enter this area, what the barriers are like, and how we can make sure that they are continually staffed. And then an extension of workouts or breakouts outside of these meetings, how to maintain those breakout groups beyond a 15-minute discussion. And that's pretty much it. Also, the residents affinity group, I believe they came around. They may have come to us specifically, but that was another concern within the vibes for this community, for the people who live on Cap Hill. And that is everything, I think.
No, wait, no, before you go. I just like to touch on one point, you guys. We need to make sure that the people who live in these buildings still safe coming out of their homes. We need to make sure that people who live in these buildings have access to get to and from work if they need to go to work. So please, when you see something and you see somebody that needs help, please speak up. Please speak up. I'm sure they are frustrated dealing with some of the stuff they've had to deal with, whether they're on our bike or not. Some of the stuff they've had to deal with just trying to get out of their driveway, I'm sure it's frustrating enough, whether they are part of this fight or not. So let's try to be courteous and respectful when we see them in the community and try to, be helpful and getting things out of their way a little bit quicker. Even if we aren't part of the gate crew at that moment or at all, step up and be a member and a leader of the community. Now, back to the focus once again. Everybody say focus with me.
Focus.
All right, here we go. Chris, can you tell me your name one more time?
Benny.
Benny?
Benny.
Benny.
As in Benny and the Jets.
I don't know that reference, but I got to say Benny. All right, Benny. So, is it okay with me if I nominate you to be on the council? We'll be organizing people to be formed on the line. And I think part of that.
I can't because I live in Gig Harbor.
No, that's perfectly fine. You have Gig Harbor. My God, thank you so much for being here. Yeah. Thank you so much. Do we have anybody else who would like to be on the council of leaders and stay in communication about maintaining the vibe? I see this woman here with her hand up. Anybody else, if you guys would like to be a part of it, please meet this woman over here. That's to our communication team and this woman as well. Can you guys please meet with the leader of our communication team and get your info in that list? That being said, is that the last of our report? There, it is. Okay, you have a question? Yeah. If you want to say something about communication, perfect time.
Hello, everybody. You guys probably heard Carolyn talk about this before. My name is Sonia. I was here yesterday talking about potentially creating a more universal web space for communication and sharing of ideas and collaboration. I just wanted to update everybody on where we are today. And I kind of want to try to do this daily if possible. Today we have a Discord server, which is a great place. For those of you that are not familiar with Discord, it's an open chat board that is great for large groups to kind of collaborate on things. And if you are curious about how to join that Discord server, we also have a subreddit, which has not yet really kicked off, but it will hopefully soon. That subreddit is reddit.com/r/freecaphill. And there is a link pinned there to where you guys can join the Discord. I'm a single person, Bashar, and I don't know if this is going to be what is used, but I'm just trying to see what might work. Today, also, right after at 5, you probably already heard this, but we are going to, the people who are running the Discord are going to have a group and talk about things, probably around Cal Anderson Field. Generally, trying to set up a website, trying to set up a forum, trying to set up a chat server. Those are our kind of major goals, and also a calendar to see what events are happening in this space. In order to do that, we need kind of a lot of participation. So anybody who is interested in one of those 4 things, and that's website, forum, chat space, or calendar, please follow me at 5 and please come talk to us and join our discussion. Thank you.
We want to try to create a unified social media space so that they can stop dividing us. And that's how they're trying to put us up. United we stand, divided we fall. That's what they keep calling us all these names and labels. throughout time because they want to divide us. They fear us. They fear us coming together and standing united because they know nothing can stop us. That's why the whole world is watching us right now. Now, one more thing I did want to note out, you guys, is that we have a long list of things here that we have came up with, a lot of topics that we have discussed, but action doesn't happen on its own. This is a project that we need to keep putting input in on. And if you want to be a part of it, you need to keep showing up, stay active, and just be here. The ones that are here every day, you start to get recognized, trust me. The other thing I would like to know, you guys, is that there's been a lot of division even amongst us on what we're calling ourselves. Can you guys raise your hand if you called yourself the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, or if you voted on it, or anything like that? Did you get a ballot in the mail, an online survey? Did you check off a box as you walked through like the gas station or something? I don't know. Anybody find like a raffle ticket that said that on there? Nobody. So as a group, we should try to come up with something to name this Occupy protest. Because they call us an autonomous zone, and some people would instill fear. It does. Some people are scared of Donald Trump. There was a man earlier that said Trump's gonna come here and lay us all down and all this and that. He sounded scared. Are you guys scared of Donald Trump? That was kind of quiet. You guys scared? Are you guys scared of Donald Trump?
Hell no!
That's what I wanted to hear out of Seattle. That's what I like in my city. I love my city. We don't give a fuck about Donald Trump out here. I know that's right. Say it louder. Say it louder. All right, that's too loud. Don't forget you got children down there. But, not to stay focused, you guys, for real. We are not scared of Donald Trump. We are not scared of these police. That's how they control us. We're not scared, okay? Oh my God, we just got 3 pieces of me. We're staying focused though. Hold on, we're not playing that. Stay focused. All right, you guys. So we're gonna have a little bit more discussion. I'm gonna let her take over on. I think we're gonna talk about more ideas on how to further this movement. Is that what we're going towards? We're gonna do announcements. There we go. I was off, but yep, here we go.
Okay, so I want to answer that question. I want to give everybody a chance to give announcements. There's a lot of people who are working on a lot of projects in the space, like in this entire area. I want to give a chance for announcements, but the thing is, if you look around, there's a ton of people. So if you're going to give an announcement, please keep it brief and it's not a position paper. It's not talk about how you feel about stuff right now. This is a moment for anybody who has an announcement like, hey, we're building a garden at this space at this time, meet us here. This is going to be a space for y'all to do that. We're going to keep it moving really fast. Make sure everybody here is another comment. Raise your hand if you have an announcement, and I'm going to come to you. I'm going to start over here, and then work my way that way. If you're in the back, I am like 4.5 feet tall.
Hello, so my name is Justin Lepeg. We worked with the NAACP last Saturday for a peaceful sit-in over at the baseball diamond. We're going to be doing that again this Sunday, 12 to 6. So please, if you are here on Sunday, come show up and show support.
Louder.
On the south barricade on 12th, over here, we're putting up some plywood against some of the barricades. We're looking for black artists to come and put their message on it. But we might need some help getting some paint, so if anyone has some paint, please be over there. And black artists, please come. Some of it should be ready to go, but there will be more later. We're not sure if it's going to be more than ready tonight or tomorrow.
More announcements?
So there's a ton of non-violent street tactics.
No.
As that. So there's a ton of non-violent street tactics you can do. There's a zillion things you can try. There's a zillion things that have been done in different places.
is. I know some of it, and I know other people do too, and I'm trying to just sort of collect all of that stuff and find a set of tactics that the maximum number of people is going to be okay with, and then start training it on a regular basis. So we all have a sort of same vocabulary of what we're going to do in this role. So I look like this. Come talk to me if you want to help with that.
Does anybody have any updates from any of the people who are working on any of the food stuff down there or medics? Does anybody hear from that who are working with folks and do? So for tomorrow, hopefully we'll do announcements again. Everybody here wants to shout out to anybody who's working on structural stuff inside the space. If you say like food, medics, all that kind of stuff. It'd be great if you were here to give us announcements on where they're at, just so that we can spread that idea. Any more announcements over here? Annie. Is that everybody? Oh, sorry.
I've asked the way to the one that has to say this. I'll try to keep it brief and just leave you guys have time not to go. If the cops came right now, I don't think we're ready. And I think that needs to be something that's constantly in the back of everyone's minds because we are surrounded by enemies. I hate to put a damper on the positivity. I know we're trying to cover a right to media narrative, but just some food for thought.
That gentleman is completely right. We're talking about it, guys. If the police came right now, what would we do? Would we actually put up a forceful resistance against people that are armed with military guns? We've already done it. We've already done it in a way. We've already done it. We've taken it still. But are we going to risk our lives over property? That's the choice that each and every one of us needs to make on their own free will and volition. Let's be honest, you guys. This country was founded on a protest, and it was not peaceful. Does anybody know what it's called? The Boston Tea Party. That is correct. This country was founded on a protest, and it was not peaceful. It's called the Boston Tea Party. The Civil War was started on a massacre. Does anybody know where that massacre was? Upper Ferry. Is that what you said? Yeah. I was actually thinking of the Boston Massacre, which also happened to happen in Boston, the same place as the Tea Party. So once again, you guys, there is a chance that the cops, like that gentleman that came on the mic earlier, said Trump could come here and pay everybody. He could come here and send the military here to commit more war crimes and have us terrified and in fear. He could. He could have us right now in fear. I'm not scared. I've been out here for 10 days. I'm not scared. I was out here when the military and the police were here, and I was screaming at them with a bullhorn if they should be tried for war crimes. And I'm not scared. Because that's the truth. You guys committed war crimes against your own citizens. I'm not scared to tell you. You guys have been genocide is not crime. I'm not scared to tell you. So if you're scared, maybe it's the same place for you. I'm not going to lie to you. Half the world is scared looking at us, according to the media. We're out here burning our city down. This is complete anarchy. I'm running around with a tiki torch right now. I don't know what's going on. I see a bunch of children in here and they don't look scared. I see a whole lot of children walking through here. I see people sleeping here at night. And they said, yeah, it was a little bit unusual that I was sleeping here, but they ain't scared to come back the next day. They're still here. And I'm going to do it again. And we're going to make it safer. And we're going to make it better. And we're going to be better as a community. And like I said, you guys, this is a project. This is evolving every day. We have not figured out all the answers yet. But we have decided that as a community, we will come together and discuss it. Am I right or am I right? What are we going to do? Okay, we have just had a discussion. What we are going to do is consolidate our ideas with the other members of the movement that are not here. Half of our forces, if not more, are marching in these streets right now, and they will have a voice too, because they are members of this community too. And we do not make decisions as a group while leaving other members of the group alienated and without a voice. It wasn't an answer, but I will reiterate it. I do not have an answer for you because I do not come up with the answers. I just said I do not know because I do not come up with the answers. I speak for the community, and half of our community is not here. So we don't want to make the same mistakes that history has made before. When people are not properly represented, they don't go along with the program. I would reference, I don't know, the Boston Tea Party. Follow with me. I'm sure the history teacher did. You want to say something, son?
I apologize for those of you for whom this is like very common knowledge, but I have to start from the baseline. We're all familiar with the Selma to Montgomery March. Now, that march did not start as a non-violent march to raise awareness. Dr. King almost never did non-violent marches to raise awareness. He did everything with a direct tactical goal, and that goal was often to cause chaos and destruction, to turn the heat up on the people in power. Now, there were multiple marches between Selma and Montgomery. It actually was a tradition that sort of started. Black people were often intimidated by white racists when they went to go register to vote, so they'd go in big groups. They can't stop us all. Now, most of these senators and congressmen, it was the 1960s, who wound up voting on the Voting Rights Act. Now, they cited Dr. King among their inspirations. But more so than that, they cited I believe it was the third Selma to Montgomery March, a civil rights leader whose name escapes me, but who was an admirer of the Black Armed Guard. It's a great story that you should absolutely look up if you're not familiar with it. He said that he wasn't about, and you'll pardon my language, he wasn't about, actually I'm not going to getting beaten up by the cops and for like the symbolism of it. So they showed up to that bridge with bricks and sticks, ready to get across that bridge. And they got across that bridge. So I want you to consider the leverage that you have here. And, okay, I've been talking too long, so I'm just going to give it back.
All right, everybody, give a round of applause, please. Can we say focus? Can we say focus?
Focus.
We came here to find solutions, right? Yeah. If we are here to find solutions, let's say focus on finding solutions. Now, saying on that focus, is your question about saying focus on solutions? It's about solutions, go ahead, sir. Yep.
So I don't know how many of you are familiar with what's going on with Starbucks right now, but they made an official statement. They made an official statement a few days ago saying that they would not allow any employees to wear Black Lives Matter, to support the Black Lives Matter movement. Within the past day or so, they recanted that because the employees have come and they've said that is not acceptable. That is in violation of our freedom of expression. So when we're talking about power here, there is a ton of power right here. What if we start a boycott on the company that started right here in this city? We have a corporate office a couple miles from here. What are those people doing? They should be right here with us, standing in solidarity and striking on Starbucks for their message that gets them political gain and profit. Because right now, they're working with leaders in the Black community, which is great, but they're using it to make t-shirts. They're using it to market their product. And that to me is unacceptable. All of these people are standing for something. What are they standing for? That's it.
Thank you for that, sir. That's an excellent idea. Is anybody here down to boycott Starbucks? I know it'll be hard because there's literally one on every other corner, but is anybody here down to boycott Starbucks? If you are down to boycott Starbucks, please do not have anything here. I need you to go home or do it now. Get on your social media, get on your friends list, get in your inbox, and tell your friends and your family members to boycott Starbucks. Because whose lives matter? Whose lives matter? and we shouldn't need to remind you. We're about to wrap it up. This young woman here is going to wrap it up for us, you guys. I want to give you all a round of applause for yourselves. Please make some noise for stepping up and being leaders of the community. I want to tell you one more question real fast.
Hi, everybody. There was a really good question from one of the gentlemen sitting right there. He asked, so what do we do now? You know, I think it's a really good point that we should ask this question ourselves. Like each of us and everybody, if we ask ourselves, what do we do now? You know, come up with some ideas and some solutions, then we can have a discussion. You know, I think that.
Were you part of the groups that we just had, that we just broke into? We literally just had that discussion about what to do next. That's why we're discussing it. So stay focused. Stay focused. We just had discussion on what we are going to do to move forward, but I can hear what this man said as well. If you don't want to be a part of one of those groups as well, that's fine, you guys. Think about what you can do on your own. Whose inbox you can hit up that you haven't yet. What's one of those racist coworkers you really want to get rid of and you haven't taken pictures of? You know you got one or two on there. Go on ahead, get a little deep in your Facebook. Find one of them pictures they don't want the world to see, and share that. But do it your own way. We're not telling you guys how to live your lives, but we are telling you that we need to speak up and stand for what's right. One more thing before I hand the mic off, you guys. To everybody who wanted to be a part of the leadership committees and you guys connected with each other, I need to get your numbers as well. So if you guys can step back here to the tent and talk to me, I would love that as well. Please, thank you. And I'm going to hand the mic off.
So these assemblies are happening at 3 o'clock every day. There's been calls for every day. Tomorrow, I think it's possible that tomorrow might not have amplified sound, but that's going to be what people hear. The assembly, and if you want to look up the history and historical relevance of assembly in terms of social movements, it's a good idea. They're bodies of people that create space and who's here on the part of the country. But they're not the only space in which decisions are made, and they're not the only space in which things happen. They're a great opportunity to bring the work that you all are already doing to the discussion of our topic. So don't stop having conversations. Don't leave the conversation solely for these breakouts. Come tomorrow or any of the days that proceed with things that you're already doing, you're already working on to bring to the larger group. It's going to be the most helpful idea. So all of those things are answered by the fact that we're having this conversation. So the idea is that we're going to be answering all of those questions as we all move forward together, because the makeup of the space is who's here in those discussions every day. So I'm not going to have it. That's probably a really, really, really long answer, and I would say talk to anybody else who's been here for a part of the assembly longer than I have to get there. Because probably the assemblies have brought everybody here together to have conversations. It's like the beginning. But yes, 3 o'clock every day. They'll generally go until about 5. So kind of block off that amount of time.
To answer your question, what we've been doing,
So obviously, everyone here can't get this information. So we want to know what's going on. Is that correct? Is that fair statement? Okay, so in any organization, first of all, you need your name. You need to come up with that. You need to come up with your mission statement. What is your strategy? What are your action items? And what are your asks? And who are you dealing with? Am I correct? Okay, so it's great that we're all out here and we're having time. We've got all this going, but at some point we need to put it on paper where you come out here, someone can hand you a piece of paper and say, these are the things that we discussed today. These are the things we've accomplished. These are the communications we had with the mayor. These are the communications we had with the police department. These are the things that we come together on. And these are the things that we haven't come together on. Because continuing to have this is great, but it's not solving racial issues. It's not making donations to NAACP. It's not helping child care. It's not helping all the other things. I'm just here. So I'm saying I am willing got some experience in that. My daughter's also here. If you can, she's got experience in that. She raised $250,000 for the anti-racism fund. So.
We had just spoken up into a number of leadership teams. If you would like to be a member of the leadership team on communication, it sounds like that would be an excellent spot for you. I think she's right back here. If you'd like to speak to her, we've also got a member for our leadership team on social media, which I think you'd be excellent as well at. So once again, we're going to continue having these discussions and finding solutions. That's what we are here for right now. Can we please stay focused? Can we please stay focused? That's what we are doing right now. So, you guys, we are out of time. I would like to thank Alyssa for offering us her equipment, but we cannot continue to take up her time. Okay, there is a Black woman and Pam's event tomorrow from 2 to 5 right here. If you guys would like to be a part of that event, it will be staged by people at Red Stage here.